News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. This is the Chris Crock Show, and it is our number 3. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? We're going to be talking about the rabid success of the massive Trump rally in South Bronx this evening. It was a huge hit, and it was a big success, and it invigorated me tremendously. Thousands upon thousands of people showed up in the South Bronx, most of whom are, I saw just so many African Americans, Cubans, Haitians, Hispanic people, a lot of Asian folks that are from Vietnam and some other areas. There's some great stuff. We'll hit that in an hour at 11. But right now, the economy, I'm going to give you a few bullets, and then we're going to go into the cost of inflation on McDonald's and Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A prices from before Joe Biden entered office, right before, to now. It's incredible. It's incredible what this man's done to us. But the headlines and a quick tidbit before I ask you some questions on this, as Dwayne would say. Nearly 3 in 5 Americans wrongly believe the United States is in an economic recession, The Guardian says. So 3 out of 5 actually wrongly believe. 3 out of 5 Americans wrongly believe that we are in a recession. We're not, but they believe it because of the way they feel. 55% believe the economy is shrinking. 56% think the U.S. is experiencing recession. Half the country thinks the S&P stock market index is down for the year, even though it went up. And half believe unemployment is at a 50. This is incredible. Half the people in America believe that unemployment's at a 50-year high when it's actually at a 50-year low, near a 50-year low. So why? Why do so many people feel this horrifically? They also blame Joe Biden on the state of the economy. 60% say the economy is worse due to his mismanagement. And 72% believe inflation is increasing, even though it's slowly been going down, even though, but here's the thing. Yeah, they believe it's increasing. 3 out of 4 Americans believe inflation is increasing, even though the rate of inflation has fallen. Here's the thing, though. While inflation is not 9% that Joe Biden got us to a year ago or so, a year and a half ago, it still is high. Inflation is still 3.5%, 4.5%, and it's on top of the Biden inflation that he's given us for 3.5 years. It's never gone down. It never goes negative. It will never lower. A sweet listener of mine asked, famously on this show, I've mentioned her a bunch, about a year ago, she said, Chris, are the grocery prices ever going to go back down to what they were? No. The answer is no. That you have no idea how much that angers me. I know it angers you just as much. I want to punch something just talking about it like that. I mean, this guy has destroyed us. He has destroyed us. And it's a personal damnation of our finances, you and me. The share of parents who now say they're doing okay financially has dropped significantly the past year, reports Axios. Home sales fell again in April after high mortgage rates dampened activity, and to make matters worse, to get a crap sandwich put together and a little scoop of garbage on top, investors are now, the Federal Reserve, their May notes in their May meeting just released, and the Fed actually now says they have a willingness to possibly tighten their policies further if inflation materializes. So in other words, what does that mean? The Fed is saying they actually still may increase interest rates. So the over 7% it costs to get a home now with a mortgage may go up even higher in the next several months or so because of Joe Biden. And meanwhile, what's he doing? He's giving more people free student loans away that we're paying for, which causes inflation. This man is reveling in destroying us. And he is tripling down and destroying us, quadrupling down and destroying us. Everything he does, he continues to do and thinking it's a success. God help this nation and God help our bank accounts. Now, questions for you before I'm going to get into McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Chick-fil-A prices and how bad they've increased under this president, under Joe Biden, in just 3.5 years. Do you feel like things are getting worse, or at least not getting better in our economy right now? And does it matter to you the statistics supposedly show things are getting better, quote unquote? And what are you noticing about your finances and your budgeting in your daily life? What changes have you made? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Well, I can tell you this, half the time we're just breaking even on what we used to have where we could bankroll it in my family. And I can tell you this, we have stopped vacations out of state or out of the immediate region. We're not doing any grandiose vacations, mostly on points, give or take a few here and there's. But there's no more Caribbean vacations, and any aspirations for Europe right now are on hold too because of all this stuff with my family. The focus is on building back up our savings that have been eaten away little by little under this presidency and all this rabid, massive inflation. And we're getting our butts bit off with. The gas prices seem lower right now. They're not. It's 3.0 something, but it was 1.89 when Trump left office. I believe it was. Literally, Joe Biden crows about the gas prices being down the past several weeks. And it's still $1.20 more than it was when Trump left. This man has just destroyed us. So do you feel like things are getting worse, or at least not getting better in our economy right now? And does it matter to you that statistics supposedly show things are getting better? And what are you noticing about your finances and budgeting in your daily life, and what changes have you made? Chime in right now. A line's wide open for you at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Look at this. McDonald's price increases. A Big Mac, when Joe Biden took office, when Trump was in office in 2019, basically in 2020, right before Joe Biden took office, Big Mac was $3.99. All right, I'm going to ask you, Producer Garrett. A Big Mac was $3.99 in Trump's last month in office. Where do you think it is now? Big Mac, it was $3.99. Take a guess what it is right now. Nope, he thinks $5.30. That makes sense. No, $7.49. A Big Mac has gone up 87.7% under Joe Biden. Just the burger. It's a menu item, says Big Mac. Cheeseburger, holy gosh. A cheeseburger went from $1 in Trump's last month in office to $3.15 under Joe Biden. That's a 215% increase. All right, let's go to Taco Bell. Let's do a Crunch Wrap Supreme. A Crunch Wrap Supreme in the last month of Trump's administration was $3.49. It's now $5.29. That's a 51% increase. Here we go. A beefy 5-layer burrito went from $1.69. You don't want to be in the car when somebody eats that. That's when you play what my high school friend called Inferno. Inferno is where you roll up the windows and turn on the heat on high, and you pass gas until somebody gives up. Whoever's last in the car, in Inferno wins. All right? Yeah, you don't want to play Inferno after that. A beefy 5-layer burrito went from $1.69 to $3.69. That's a 118% increase. How about Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A, a deluxe chicken sandwich, or as I like to say, a deluxe chicken sandwich, went from $3.65 under Trump's last month to now $6.55. A deluxe chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A has gone up 79% from $3.65 to $6.55. Isn't that insane? They basically added $3 to your for the same thing for a chicken deluxe chicken sandwich. 8-piece chicken filet nuggets in Chick-fil-A was $3.05 under Trump. Now it's $5.99. From $3.05 to $5.99, basically a $3 increase on chicken freaking nuggets, y'all. 8 pieces of chicken. Hey, do the math on that. What's 8 divided by 30? It's like 4.5. That literally means for every nugget, you're paying like 40.5 cents per nugget extra. Isn't that insane? I think that's math. The math is right. Kim in Burleson, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hey, Kim in Burleson.
Hey, good evening, Chris.
Good evening,
Thanks
sir.
for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Hey, Chris, I was in the auto business during COVID. And it literally just wrecked my business. Like,
yes.
I had to let go of about 70% of my staff.
Yes.
And all of that. And the car business literally has not recovered. I had to completely change industries. My buddies in the car business are still reeling from COVID. Is the economy still not? I mean, is this stuff all just not to blame on COVID?
Absolutely not. It's the excuse they're still making is COVID, but just think of it this way. COVID was, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago?
Well, yeah, but the prices haven't gone back to where they were 4 or 5 years ago.
No, because the prices never went down because a couple things. In this particular instance, I mean, if you just look at inflation, car insurance has gone up 22% since last year alone. I mean, everything has gone up. But the COVID stuff, I strongly disagree with because things have gone back to normalcy as far as the production from everything I've seen. I'm not a car expert, but there's no more shortages of parts and all this kind of stuff. But this hyperinflation has led to hyper costs on labor. I mean, everything's more expensive. I mean, look, I just went over food. You know what I mean? So wouldn't it make sense to you? I guess what I'm saying, I don't know because I'm not a car expert. You're more of one than I am. But here's what I would say. Wouldn't you agree that since everything's gone up that has nothing to do with cars has gone up, that it makes sense that the cars are still rapidly expensive because of the fact that Joe Biden has brought us into inflation and made it worse?
What I'm saying is COVID causes everybody to stop spending money. Biden starts and Trump also starts stimulating the economy by putting money into it.
Yeah, Trump did one last thing. Right.
So we get inflation, and the rates are high to stop people from spending, to get the money out of the economy. And we seem like we're just still in that, we came to a stop. We got all this stimulus money to stimulate the economy.
Too much.
And it was too much.
Too much. The last one from Trump was too much, and the rest Biden tripled, quadrupled down and did more.
Right. And obviously for good reason, to get people out of the COVID stupor. But it just seems to me, if by the virtue of policies things are going down, we're still just stuck in a perception mode.
Well,
we perceive things to be worse.
Well, no, because they are worse. Because even though they're like, well, look at this, look at that, inflation is never going to go down. So our grocery prices, our energy prices under this president they're not going to go down.
Well, if that's the case, they're not going to go down under the next president or the one after that.
Well, let me ask you this. Under the 4 years of Trump, before the COVID hit, so 3.5 years roughly, in fact, when Trump left office, inflation was 1.4%. So Joe Biden tries to lie and say it was 9% when he took over. That happened a year and a half later from Joe Biden's policies.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you could take both of those guys out of the picture and just look at the circumstance. Look at the money that got put into the economy.
But what I'm telling you is
that's what created the inflation.
After Trump, that's exactly right. For example, all these student loans he's giving away with our money, paying for, is causing inflation, big inflation.
No, it's not. It's also causing those people to take that money and start businesses and do other things.
Where are they? Wait. Pause for a second. Yeah. They're taking that money and they're starting businesses. Where are they taking the money from?
Out of their own pocket.
No, they're not. Out of your pocket, in my pocket, in all of our pockets. And
Chris, you don't have any control of where a FICA money goes.
Brother.
Planned Parenthood.
By giving away, you said they're taking that money and spending it elsewhere. They're taking that money from you and me. The average person who just got the big loan giveaway yesterday, not today. Today he didn't know. They make three. Hold on. Pause. Those people. Pause. It's okay, brother. No one's going to die here. The average salary of the people who Joe Biden forgave loans, not today, he did more today. Yesterday, their average salary is $312,000. $312,000. So they're taking from you and me, and they're giving it to people that make $312,000 a year. That causes inflation and is printing more money. And I'm quoting a definite expert on these issues, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank, who's a billionaire businessman. I got to roll, but I appreciate your call. If anybody wants to respond to that too, I'll take it. But here's the thing. Inflation is caused by printing more money, and Joe Biden's been doing printing more money on steroids. Trump made a mistake of his last COVID bailout, but that was only one. Biden did a whole bunch more and has done a whole bunch of printing money since then, with all these giveaways, all these green energy jobs, green energy crap. And he also has caused inflation with closing the spigot on our energy prices, which causes inflation for everything to get delivered and to be fueled in our homes and our grocery stores and our cars and our trucks. Inflation has tripled, quadrupled, and gone higher and higher under Joe Biden. And even though it's lower right now, it's never going to go back. This man he's done Jimmy Carter. He's done Keynesian fiscal politics, just print. He caused inflation. I got to roll, my friend, but I appreciate your call. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I repeat it again. My answer to inflation with cars is responding with Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, and McDonald's prices I just gave to you. They've skyrocketed since COVID. They were at good prices after COVID under Donald J. Trump. They are destroyed in the past 3 years after COVID. They're gone way up. They were low under Trump. All these things went up under Trump, not under COVID. So that's how I feel, and I feel very strongly. And by the way, the last thing is that people are spending all this money, you say, they're spending it on credit cards. Credit card delinquency, high delinquency, bad delinquency is at the highest it's been in decades. So they're spending it with money they don't have. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Interesting discussion on inflation. Let's go to Brian as well in Canton. You're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Chris. Second-time caller. My wife and I, we went just for sandwiches to Whataburger night before last. A bacon cheeseburger and a patty melt was $19. No fries, no drink.
A bacon double cheeseburger, you said, and a patty melt?
A single meat bacon cheeseburger and a patty melt was $19. No fries, no drink.
Do you think that's because of COVID?
I think it's because it's a Chicago-based company is part of it now.
Well, I mean, did you hear me mention the prices? I mean, McDonald's is also Chicago-based, but Oak Brook, to be technical, which is a suburb of Chicago. But the medium fries went up 134% with McDonald's from the last month of Trump to right now. They went up from $179 to $419. I can't believe I'm reading that. 134% increase. Taco Bell, I don't know where they're based out of. I don't think Chicago. They're based out of here, actually. Yum Brands, I believe. And why did their beefy 5-liter burrito go from $1.69 to $3.69? It's a 118% increase. Chick-fil-A out of Atlanta is supposed to be a conservative type company. Their large milkshake went from $3.15 to $5.19. The deluxe sandwich went from $3.65 to $6.55. So, I mean, do you really think it's because they're from Chicago, Whataburger, or do you think it's because Joe Biden's created inflation?
I
something
think
else?
It's because of our pathetic president, for starters.
What do you think? Do you think it's the same thing with cars? I mean, with that last caller, he was quite adamant that it had nothing, seemed to have nothing to do with Joe Biden other than, the COVID stuff. Still saying it's COVID. I don't believe it's COVID because everything is insanely expensive, isn't it? It's not COVID anymore, is it? Do you accept that?
Well, cars are different than food because cars, most of the parts come from China and stuff, and they still haven't gone back to full manufacturing. But food, I don't know. I think most of it has to do with the rise on the price of fuel, which caused everything else to rise.
Fuel, feed, everything. It's cost a lot. Every single thing. It's insane. Appreciate your call, Brian. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I did just pull up an article. I'll share some highlights with you about why it's so expensive to own a car right now. And not own a car. I want to talk about buying, why cars are still so expensive. I'll get to that coming up next. And then, as promised, I want to get into some radar love. Drivers on Dallas busy Central Expressway are hitting triple-digit speedways. What is the fastest you go or you've gone on one of our local highways, and what's the fastest you tend to go on some of these highways regularly when the traffic permits? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. That's next. All right, so driving fast. Drivers on Dallas, this is from NBC5. Drivers on Dallas busy Central Expressway hitting triple-digit speedway speeds. So they're driving over 100. A Hondo, y'all. For several months, NBC5 investigating the high-speed crashes along 75. And ever since the Department of Transportation raised it to 70 miles per hour, which I think is really awesome and really good. So they have a radar clock, and they look at 3 different locations between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Oh, boy, that's closer to when I get out of here, right? Recent Monday night. This is going to be great. Recent Monday night. At 3 locations on Central Expressway between 8 and 11 p.m., at least a dozen times drivers topped 100 miles per hour, sometimes 115, baby. Woo-woo! Another driver was clocked at 133, 63 over the limit. And City Council member Paul Ridley said he's very concerned about this. And they talk about Rasheed Rice. Dude, Rasheed Rice was driving through moderate to heavy traffic going 119. We've all seen the video. There were cars everywhere, weren't there? It was daylight. It wasn't 8 to 11 p.m. I'm not excusing the speeding like this, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I go fast at night. Because there's about, 1/8 of the cars on the road, at least, right, that we have during the day. If not, I mean, I drive in the late afternoon. I drive in on the tail end of the afternoon drive stuff, okay? And you could never drive like that unless you're Rasheed Rice. That's what he did. And that's homicidal, and that's suicidal, and that's why he got charged with so many felonies, rightfully so, including leaving the scene. This is at night. And I'm not going to try to defend going over 100 or going 100 over, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's times when I hit 90. That's not that bad. Is it, Producer Garrett? No. I might even go even a little bit above 90. I don't know. But if I you can't feign that you're over. You're like, whoa, you're feigning it still, aren't you? No? Yes? I mean, I'll probably go between, I'd never go under 80 unless there's an idiot in front of me. Between 80 and 90. Yeah, that's not too bad, 20 over. But it's at night, and there's very little people out there. So what about you? What is the fastest you go? And what highways do you tend to kind of speed like that? Not kind of. What highways do you speed on? What's the fastest you typically go when you drive out and about at night and there's dead traffic? Very little traffic comparatively speaking. And what's the fastest you've gone on some of our North Texas highways? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. What's the fastest you've gone on some of our North Texas highways? And what fast speeds do you typically travel at on our local highways when you can? Key word here is when you can, not when you want to and it's crowded, like with the allegations against Rasheed Rice. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. The city council member Dallas says, I think there's a widespread perception that there's no traffic enforcement anymore and people are getting away with it. Well, here's the truth. The truth is certain areas, they enforce it on the highways. The bad thing about Texas in that regard is that it's in Illinois, my home state. I mean, I've been here for 14, 15 years. I'm in my 15th year living here, and we lived here in the 90s before for 2 years. But my point is that the thing that sucks about Illinois is, the thing that's good, the one thing that's good about Illinois is only the troopers can ticket you on the highways. So if you don't see a trooper, you're scot-free. Okay, but there's a lot more presence of them in the cities. But as far as here, what sucks is local cops can pull you over too. So you know what I'm saying? So that sucks. Like if you're in Plano and you're on the highway and a Plano cop wants to, they can tag and bag you if you're speeding. Same thing with the Collin County Sheriff's, if you're there, etc. So that's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem. If you're going through Arlington on I-30, there's always speed traps right around where Rangers Stadium and Six Flags are. Absolutely. Oh, in Jerry World, there's always cops in there, that little cove, particularly where you're getting off of the Rangers. And I'm like, dang it, would you stop this? But they're always there on 30. That sucks, So, yeah, I got to tell you, most nights I'm going between 83 and 93 on the highway when there's very little traffic. What annoys me is these people that go so slow in the fast lane. And then there's like you'll have like what I call a moving roadblock. You'll have like 3 cars in a row that are near each other. What are you stupid? Are you a freaking moron? Do you not look to your left and see there's a car next to you going the same speed? I can't stand with some idiot, and I go home at night, obviously every night from the show. These idiots who are next to me, I'm like, where were you? Where were you? I passed you. Why are you at my thing now? Get out of here. And I slow down. They slow down. You know what? So then I have to blast it. And I leave them in the dirt because I'm like, you're an idiot. You're a danger, and you're creeping me out. Get out of my peripheral vision and get away from my car. Make sense? So what is it when you see 3 mental midgets in a row, fast lane, middle lane, and slow lane or whatever, and they're all going about the same speed? Get the living bleep out of the lane, mental midget, right? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. What is, where are some of the areas, or what are some of the highways you've gone pretty darn fast on at night? And what's the fastest you tend to go on our highways? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. One guy said, this is Chief Garcia, he said he was surprised last fall when he got here in Dallas. He told Channel 5 to find the police were responsible for speed enforcement on major state and interstate highways. See, he's the same thing as me. I was shocked, very surprised. In California, the highway CHP, the CHIPS, usually does enforcement on the freeway. Same thing in Illinois. See that? That's the one thing I wish. I wish we couldn't have our locals on the highways. Dallas police, though, in my extensive experience of driving to downtown for over 14 years now, from out in the hinterland, they 9 times out of 10 they'll never pull you over for speeding. Unless I think the only time they would pull you over for speeding in Dallas proper would be if they can only pull you over in Dallas proper. But I think the only time they would tag and bag you if you were in Dallas speeding is if you're like going like way like, whoa, honestly, 10 miles an hour over the limit, 12 over the limit, they ain't tagging me. They never do. But I don't push my luck. I don't try to flaunt it or act like they're not there at all. I just kind of discreetly go around them and get a little ahead before I start going back up higher. But yeah, they don't really care, and that's because they're in a big city and they don't have enough cops. So I got some more comments to share with you from people being alarmed about coming here and seeing how the high speeds are. I don't think we're that bad. Do you? Do you think we're that bad than other states with speeding on the highways and such? I don't know, man. I don't think we're much different. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Now, I do get these idiots in, whether they be in cheap muscle cars, they think they're awesome, and they're like, I'm like, dude, you're in like a Dodge Charger. No offense, but it's like, you'll impress me if you're in a Corvette, or whatever, I don't know, Porsche or these real fast cars, those things. But you know what? There's so many idiots I see in those at night going home. There's so many idiots in those, and they're going like 20 or 30 or 40 over, like the ones that they talk about here, 133, 115. You're going to crash that car, and I'm going to watch you crash it ahead. And the only thing I hope is that you don't hit somebody else. Other than that, I could care less. Darwin Award. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. More on how fast have you gone on our local highways at night when it's half dead, and what do you typically go on these highways around here on the Metroplex when there's not much traffic? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I got more quotes from from TxDOT people and other people that are alarmed at how fast we're going on our highways here in North Texas. Get used to it, man. You're welcome to Texas. All right, 800-288-WBAP. Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. What's the fastest you've gone on some of our North Texas highways, and what fast speeds do you typically travel at on our local highways? When you can. That's the clue, the hint. When you can, not during the day when there's lots of cars. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Let's see if Andy from Stephenville has Radar Live. Hello, Andy. You're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
So I have to tell you, I moved here to Stephenville almost 4 years ago from Florida. And when I moved here to Florida, or here to Texas, my insurance dropped by like I don't know, better than half.
For your car?
For my, well, I have a car and a couple of trucks, yeah. But my insurance dropped, like, significantly. When she gave me the new total, I said, is that for one vehicle? She says, no, it's for all four.
Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. Do you think, did you, when you were in Florida, did you used to live near a coast?
No, I actually lived in the middle, just south of Orlando.
Maybe it's because of the hurricanes?
No, I can tell you what it is, but it wouldn't be very nice, and you probably can't play it on the radio.
No,
so.
I can, as long as you're not cussing. I can. What? Just say it.
No,
Illegals?
No, it's not cussing. No, it's not the illegals. It's the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans drive like a bunch of psychos.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. I know here. I can tell you one thing. My dad and mom, about 4 years ago, maybe a little more, give or take, they rented a car, and when they were in Puerto Rico, they stayed there for, I don't know, like a week or something, and they said they will never, ever drive in Puerto Rico again. They're insane, and there's no signs, and it's a disaster, literally.
Well, I can be as judgy as I want because I moved from California to Florida, and everybody out there drives like idiots, too. I was really impressed how my insurance dropped moving to Florida. But as far as driving fast, I drive a big pickup truck, and I'm not driving 90, 100 miles an hour. You're getting like 80, 85, but I'll stay over to the right. If you want to go wrap yourself around a telephone pole, hey, feel free.
What? Okay, 80, 85. All right, what do you think is getting too much? Again, we're talking about at night when there's not many cars on the road, like right now, for example.
I'd say 10, 15 miles over the posted speed limit is really unreasonable. There's nothing worth anybody's life, mine or yours, that's worth driving that.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I have to tell myself. You're right, Andy, because I have to tell myself that. I have to say, Chris, what the hell are you doing? You almost got in a crash, and you're going to save a minute. What are you doing? I have to tell myself that from time to time. Like, what are you doing? You were just an ass there. Stop it. It's not. You're not gonna. Right.
My dad used to tell me posted speed limits are basically suggestions.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, to a certain extent. If there's no traffic and it's wide open, go ahead and go fast. But man, stupid things happen. There's always junk on the freeway. Somebody's got a ladder falling off of something. If you're going 100 miles an hour and you hit one of those aluminum ladders, do you know what happens? Because I saw what happened. It is not good.
What happened?
Basically, the guy hit it, swerved off the road, and he hit the side of a bridge.
Oh,
I saw that in Riverside, California, about 20 years ago.
I also had to remind myself this the other day, and I'm being very serious about this. I remind myself the other day that literally it's like, dude, by you going so fast, you're literally killing your ability to react and stop and avoid a crash. And that's literally the stupidest thing in the world that I could do. Thank you, Andy, for your great call. Appreciate you, and we're glad you're here.